Hey everyone, if you're interested in this look, then just keep please watching. The first thing I'm going to be doing is using my Smashbox Primer Oil, and I'm just going to be dropping this all over my face. It's one of my favorite primers because it keeps me moisturized throughout the whole day, and my foundation always glides like perfectly over it. The next thing I'm using is this Farsali highlighter. I'm just applying it to like my cheekbones, my nose, and my cupid's bow. I feel like this is very natural, this highlighter. From watching reviews on it, I thought it was going to be very pigmented, but as you can see, it's very like a natural glow, which if you like that, it's perfect, but at least on me, it didn't show as much as I wanted it to. But it's still nice to wear. I like to use it just on bare skin and put my foundation on top of it. The look today I'm going for is just basically a everyday look, but not natural. Like if you want to go kind of full out but keep it natural looking, then this is going to be perfect for you. The next thing I'm doing is using my foundation, which is my YSL foundation. It's one of the new ones, and I'm mixing it with the MAC Face and Body. It's very, I would say light coverage. You can build it up to get medium, but it's mostly light coverage. You could see once I start applying it. It does have SPF in it, so it does give a little bit of a flashback, but it is a very beautiful natural foundation. And it's actually pretty glowy, so if you already have oily skin, then it might not really look good on you unless you set it with a powder. But here you can see me applying it. You can still see my skin through it, which is nice, but if you're looking for like a night out look, I wouldn't use this foundation just because of how natural it is. Sorry if I keep playing with my hair. I am going to be going in with 2 layers of it, so you'll see me dip back in and apply another layer, like right here. And you can see it is building up, but you're never going to get like a full coverage with this. With the face and body, you can, but you do have to apply a lot. I normally don't use the face and body because it does tend to break me out, but I just kind of wanted to try it, and I did wake up with a little bit of pimples the next day, so MAC usually breaks me out, but the next thing I'm using is Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I am applying more than I usually do. Normally I'll probably like stop about right there, but I did drag it out and bring it down a little bit. I was going to the city this day with my family, so I did want to look a little bit more dramatic than usual. So I did drag the concealer down a little bit. I'm using this Millani. It's like a cream to powder product. Sorry that I'm kind of blocking it, but I'm using it just to basically warm up my skin. This isn't contouring, it's more like bronzing with it. But I am applying it kind of where you contour and where you bronze. I just like to do it because it adds warmth to my skin, keeps it dimensional. What's great about this look is that I am using a good amount of products, but it doesn't look like I am once everything is blended out. I'm using that Evian spray with the sponge and just blending everything out. I'm going to start with the highlighting first, and then I'm going to move on to the bronze with it. I just sprayed the Evian spray because it's better when the sponge is wet. Also, it helps set the foundation. So you could even use like the Urban Decay All Nighter, spray your sponge with it, and it'll help keep your makeup in place. And the sponge just helps to give it like an airbrush look. I do love brushes. I tend to use brushes more than sponges, but in this video I did use the sponge. Next, I'm going into my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I do use all 3 shades to highlight. I use the orange one first, then the yellow one, then the whiter one. I just like the way that all the colors mix together when I use all 3 of them. And I'm applying it in my highlighting area. So under my eyes, my forehead, my nose, and I do apply it under, like on my jaw. With this foundation, you do have to set it just because when you do touch it, it does tend to transfer. I don't know if it's because it's like a wet type of foundation, but if you don't want it to move around, you do have to set it a little bit. I'm going in with my Too Faced bronzer and just applying this where I applied the Millani product before. I don't know how I feel about this bronzer. The first time I used it, I did not like it at all, but the more I started using it, I liked it. I think it's a little bit hard to blend, but I also don't really put a lot of powder on my face, so maybe if I set my face a little bit more, it'd be easier to blend on top of it. I do like the shade. I like how warm it is. Some people might not like that, but I like it. Then I'm going to go into that middle shade of the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and just warm it up a little bit more. I do have eyelash extensions on. I absolutely love them. I get them done by a girl named Marina. I'll let you guys know her account below. I'm going with that Mud blush and just applying it basically to the apples of my cheeks. It's a great blush. It blends out really nicely. Next, I'm going into my MAC, I forgot, setting spray. I was having a hard time spraying it, but I just use that to set my face makeup sometimes. Going in with my Nicole Guerrero highlighting palette, and I was so sad because another shade broke, which is one of my favorites. Unfortunately, this palette is a limited edition, so I can't get it again. So if you guys recommend any good highlighters, please let me know down below. I have been using a NYX highlighting palette, and it's actually really, really nice. But I'm going to miss this palette once I'm done with it. Also applying it to the bridge of my nose, and then I'll be applying it to my upper lip. Next, I'm using this Artist Couture highlighter in Illuminati. And I just like this for like a topper foundation. It gives it a little bit more like oomph. I don't love it by itself. It is a little bit glittery, but on top of another highlighter, I do enjoy it. Going back to that Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to be doing my eye makeup now. I just use that middle shade and putting it right into my crease. This is a good way to tie everything together. Just warms it up a bit without making it look too much. Going in with that first shade, and I'm going to be applying that in my crease as well. Next, I'm going to go into that last shade. I'm going to be doing my eyebrows with this. I honestly had a little bit of a hard time doing my eyebrows with this because as a powder I should have used a cream first, but I don't ever really do my eyebrows anyways, so it was a good quick eyebrow day. Usually I use the Anastasia Dip Brow, but that's if I'm really trying to make my eyebrows look good. Next, I'm going into my favorite NYX lip liner. I don't know the color. I'll have to try to look for it. It's one of my favorite cool tone. It's like a lilac color. I just apply that all over my lips, and then I'm going to use this Ulta Clear Gloss. Just put that on top of it. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please comment down below. And comment, rate, and subscribe.